Yeah, I figured I would make a video, um, I guess updating, like based on my very first initial experience and I guess the ending of it now. Um, I was going to do a daily thing, but then I realized like after about like the third day that, what I was gonna end up doing here was gonna basically be the same every single day, and there wasn't a point in me updating. And then I might as well just make an update video at the very end. It just kind of made more sense. But to be honest, there's actually not that much, and so this video might actually end up being kind of short, and thank God to make up for the last video that was 45 minutes. And I'm not as tired, so I can actually correlate my thoughts, if that's the proper word. Um, so my experience here in Incheon, or I guess just quarantine in general, in Incheon Hyat Hotel, I still don't know how to pronounce it, has been pretty good, honestly. And I might be a little bit biased because I'm an introvert, anyways, so like I enjoy being by myself. Um, but I guess just to elaborate more on what people can expect and what has changed from online, there was some things that I had read that I actually had completely forgotten about that I from from reading, and that was people had mentioned that whenever you were here, they were gonna give you like a care package, and it had like snacks, it had masks, tea, and stuff like that. Um, yeah, never got that. it's we're today's the 14th. I actually get out tomorrow at 7 a.m. Um, but so that like I never got that while I was here. Another thing actually, the paper had mentioned that we were gonna get 2 liters of water a week. Um, that never really came either. I got one, and I actually have more water than I know what to do with. Here, I'll actually get up and just show for the sake of the video. Um, Nice day outside, but yeah. So here's my water bottle army. Um, they do give you enough water in that regard, at least. I'll be completely honest. Um, yeah, they give you 6 bottles of water a day. That's more than enough than I drink, obviously, if you can tell. I honestly I use this quarantine, and this is what I'm gonna tell people. Use quarantine as a way to, I guess, improve your diet, because I'm gonna be completely honest. I've probably lost, I would estimate about like 5 pounds in here. I'm not even kidding. Between food and drinking so much water, and I can't even keep up with it. And so that care package never came. So what I want to tell people, I guess, because of that care package, is when you come here, what I would do next time coming here, and what I suggest people do now instead. Maybe this just wasn't this facility. I'm not too sure. Um, Make sure you bring snacks. If you have a type of sugar addiction or some type of craving, uh, make sure you bring snacks. And same thing regarding water. I would bring those little packets you can mix, and you can make flavored drinks out of with the food that they give you. So the food was pretty good. Like it was alright. What I came to find out though is that like they are very repetitive. It's I would, if I had to guess, I would say that they have probably like 6 per or something like that. I don't know. I'm just making up random numbers at this point, just for the sake of example. But they probably only have like that many items, options. They probably just mix those up. I'm gonna be completely honest. There's not much variation, and so I will say that from the first day, I was wrong about that. By I've told people it was about the, I think about the eighth or ninth day, I started getting tired of the food. Honestly, um, subjectively speaking, I enjoyed breakfast most. And I'm only biased in that sense because breakfast was probably like the most like Americanized thing. Like they were giving us like toast and waffles. Honestly, that's really probably the only big thing. I would tell people, if I had some advice to give people, I would say use this as time to improve yourself in whatever way, whether you're trying to study something. Um, I know a lot of people, they will go and like watch Netflix and stuff, and I'm guilty of it. Like I've I've had more time than I've ever known what to do with, because I literally can't walk outside. I mean, like reading, like you keep something to like keep yourself sane, because like after about like initially when I came in here, like, and I even said at the beginning of the video, I'm an introvert anyways, so it, like, I don't really mind this, but even I found it kind of difficult, truthfully. For example, like, I always wanted to learn Adobe, so some of the first think about like the fourth day or whatever, like the first few days I was just watching like Twitch streams and stuff like that, and then I started using Adobe Premiere. I already kind of know Photoshop and Lightroom, but still, like, I was doing Premiere Pro, Premiere Rush, After Effects. I was just kind of learning them and messing around with them, and time went by. So I mean, just find something to kill time with. Outside of that, like, I was looking at this, researching the stock market. Like, I found that time passed by that quickly, pretty quickly doing those. So outside of that, like, really outside of really that thing with the care package and just telling people, like, bring snacks, like, that's what I've been telling all my friends, and just to keep yourself busy. I would say the only other thing, I wish that this hotel, these windows opened, because that was kind of the only other big complaint that I had, really, like. And that's the only reason why my mental was starting to get a little bad in the last few days, was just truthfully because, like, I have not had fresh air, like, at all. Even though I don't go outside much, like, just being in here the entire time, it kind of gets to people. Okay, so I wish that the window opened. I wish that I brought snacks and stuff like that to kind of like balance the food that they were giving us, and just keeping yourself busy. Like that truthfully is really about it. Maybe an extrovert will give their opinion. I guess the only last bit of information I could actually give to this, and I'm gonna put this in this video, because this was information I didn't find online, without, like, nobody was actually talking about it. And this is actually a really big part that I've seen a lot of confusion online. A lot of people on Discord have been asking me, hey, Andrew, how did you go to Korea during a pandemic and everything? I don't know what it's like from other countries. I'm pretty positive that South Korea isn't closing their borders with US, even though we're the highest, cases in the world. I don't want to say it in the video. We're protecting them in some regards, so I don't think that they're ever going to close the borders to us. Anyways, that's getting into politics. Yeah, so I came here on a short-term visa, as I said in the first video. A lot of people, I guess, don't think that you can get that right now. I think people are getting confused with short-term visas and like regular visas, like for work and stuff like that. I don't think you can get work visas right now. I don't know. I've never applied for a work visa literally for anywhere in my life. And yeah, I know you can get long-term visas right now. So work visas, maybe those are the same thing. I'm not sure. I'm pretty ignorant to that. But so the thing with short-term visas, and this is what I'm elaborating on, is if you get a short-term visa, you are actually required to quarantine here in this hotel. If you get a long-term visa, and I think this is why I had some of those reactions in the airport now looking back on it, the long-term visa, if you're here on that, you're actually allowed to quarantine in an Airbnb, which now makes more sense. Why, whenever I saw Airbnbs, they were specifically listing, you cannot quarantine here. Some places are, some people are letting you. I guess it comes up to whoever the owner is. But so how the process works, if you're long term, you would go through the same process in the airport and everything. But they don't test you. Since they don't test you at the airport and they actually test you here at the hotel, what I was reading is that you're supposed to get on a shuttle bus, and these are shuttle buses that are like specifically for at-risk travelers. Short term would just come straight here to the hotel and do the whole process that I explained in the first video, and then the long term would go to a shuttle. The shuttle would take you close to wherever you're going, and you would take multiple shuttle buses apparently to get as close to your location as possible. And then apparently there are officers that are dedicated to checking up on these people, and apparently they just randomly will show up at people's places. Hi, so I'm adding this part in because my dumbass was recording and not going off of a script or anything, and having my thoughts all on a place where I can see them. That I completely forgot in the middle of this. I didn't even explain. I was mentioning about long-term and short-term visa differences, and on the part where I was talking about with taking the bus to go to the B&B and everything like that, I completely forgot right here where I'm going to put this in the video that you get since you don't get tested at the airport and you get tested here at the hotel, that the difference with short term coming here to the hotel, long term has the option to come here to the hotel if they choose to, but if they get tested here, then they have to stay here, I believe. But if you're long term and you're staying at a B&B, what they do is they don't test you at the air. Since they don't test you at the airport, you go on a shuttle bus and you get as close to your B&B as possible. I mentioned this part with the quarantine officer where they come in and check on you, and this is the part where I got sidetracked. So when you get to your B&B or wherever you're choosing to stay, not with family, um, you are required in your first 3 days to go and get a COVID test. And I guess your quarantine officer will let you know. People online were saying that they got a text message or something like that. Some people were saying they didn't get one at all. Um, but so yeah, long term, you actually get to leave your quarantine facility technically, but you have to go really close to where you have to go to you have to leave at a specific time since you have to bring your phone with you because the government app tracks where you're at the entire time. They will know. And sorry if you hear background. I'm editing right now. That's my computer fan. But so yeah, you go there, you take tests, and you go right back to your facility. Anyways, I just wanted to take this video because I was watching it and forgot to even mention that part. To make sure that you're there, because apparently there were some people that were taking their phones and they were just leaving them at their Airbnb, and they were just leaving. And these people, there was like 4 people. I don't know where it's at. It's at the south of the peninsula. Apparently, I think it was a Busan actually. Um, I don't know, but they actually all 4 ended up getting deported because they were supposed to be under quarantine and they didn't do it. Um, but so yeah, you have a certain officer and you report to them, and you're still supposed to report your temperature maybe once or twice in the app a day. It depends on who you talk to. I was told once, obviously. Um, but so yeah, you go there to your place wherever you're quarantining, and obviously you cannot you have to quarantine by yourself. And this isn't talking about the whole quarantine with your parents thing. I can't elaborate on that. But the long term, so yeah, you go to your B&B. They give you the same package with all the the hazard trash bags or whatever. Um, Long term is pretty worth it, honestly, right now. Because the difference is like, so if you quarantine, believe it or not, it sounds stupid, but long term might actually be cheaper than short term right now. I'm not even joking. Um, because you're comparing where I spent roughly like 1,500 $1,500 on this hotel alone. um, B&Bs are usually about between, in my experience, between $10 to $20 a night here, maybe even 30. My friend informed me that you can actually order groceries apparently here, like from GS25, and you can actually use foreigner-friendly food delivery apps here. And like there was YouTubers that were recording that they were getting boba every single day. I mean, and obviously, you're gonna pay expensive fees for that. But I mean, again, like I said in the first video, I'm somebody who only eats like once or twice a day anyways. So like this was overkill for me. So yeah, if I could just have groceries delivered, like, and then have get food delivered like once or twice a day, like I would have been fine with that, and it would have ended up being cheaper than being here. So yeah, initial experience, this hasn't been that bad. As of today, like this is the last day I have to clean my room, and then I think, oh, sorry, one very very last thing. This was the thing that that was kind of controversial to me, that I and people on Discord saw that I complained about this. Um, Now I have no complaints. Korea, like they changed my mind. In the app, when you're recording, there's nobody really to you can. It's just like a check mark saying, oh, if you have a cough, sore throat, sit there and mark no. It when it shows your temperature on there, it says optional on there. You don't even have to put your temperature in there. there's just a check mark where you put yes or no if you have under a 37.5 Celsius temperature, and as long as you hit that, I don't think that they care. I did not like this because, truthfully, I don't trust people. I know that there's shitty people in this hotel, like 100%, that are probably understating what they're actually feeling. I guarantee you right now, there's COVID patients in this, there's people that have COVID in this hotel. Quote me on this. I guarantee you, and I'm here with them. I would not be surprised if people are lying on it. And I wish that apparently they were going around originally just taking people's temperatures at the door, I guess once or twice a day, and they just stopped doing that and just are hoping that people are telling the truth. I still don't like this. I would rather, like, even though it is a hassle, I think that they should still be doing it. They're already in PPE anyways. Because it just, in the back of my head, I know that people aren't telling the truth here. And especially because even the app, it only tells you to report once a day, and people were telling me to report once a day. I still think that you should be reporting twice a day, because like for me, I always reported when I woke up in the morning and my temperature was like 36.5, which apparently is under, and apparently your temperature is lower in the morning. But since they never required a temperature for me to report later on, I just reported that my temperature was like 37.4, 37.6 every single day, or not 37, 36.4 to 36.6, like roughly. But apparently at the very end, and I had a piece of paper come by my door, and I had to write down a bunch of my information, leave it out the very next morning by 10 a.m. It mentioned on there that on the last day they're actually gonna come by and have somebody take my temperature. So, good shit. Like, I would rather they just do it every single day, but I'm glad that they have somebody coming by on the last day to make sure that you're not leaving with a temperature. So yeah, this was my initial experience with quarantine, and these were my suggestions towards people that are gonna come here and quarantine in the future, or are thinking about it, and what to expect. And this is my advice, and this is all subjective. None of this is, none of this is objective. And again, your experience will 100% vary from mine. This is just my personal experience, and if I come back here in a few months, I guarantee you that it'll be different next time. So, anyways, that's about it. Hope you all enjoyed.